Graduates, please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Zeeland West Class of 2018 graduation ceremony. We want to first thank Hope College for working with us in such a gracious and timely manner to use this beautiful facility for our graduation tonight. Our families, and especially us graduates, appreciate it. The Zeeland West High School graduation is a formal ceremony with expectations of appropriate behavior. Cell phones and other devices that produce disruptive sounds, such as air horns, are not to be used during the ceremony. Graduates, please refrain from taking selfies on stage while you are receiving your diploma. But first, this ceremony symbolizes the conclusion of our academic efforts and is an exciting day for students, family, and friends. We expect the best from everyone. Graduates, this ceremony symbolizes the end of a big milestone in our lives, but it also signifies a new beginning, whatever that may be. Maybe you are seeking a college degree, serving in the military, or going right into the workforce. Or maybe a gap year full of Fortnite in your parents' basement sounds good to you. Whatever your future plans are, never forget the teachers, families, and friends who helped you get to the seat you are sitting in right now. They have been with us through the times when we have been the most vulnerable, and they have celebrated with us on days like today. As the years go by, remember these people and the memories you've made with them, whether it was the Friday night football games, the communications retreat, the last consumer finance learning extension, or, best of all, your last walk on the path. Now, here we are making one last memory together. Sit back and enjoy the celebration. Congratulations, Zeeland West Class of 2018. We did it. And now, will you please rise? Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we welcome our varsity voices, directed by Mr. John Van Eck for the singing of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
I have the privilege of introducing our salutatorian, Andrew Wynn. Andrew has an outstanding mind and a great positivity to go with it. He is a diligent worker and gets along with everybody he meets. Andrew plans to continue his education at the University of Michigan next fall. Please join me in welcoming Andrew to the podium.
Hi, guys. Usually when someone speaks at an important event, they usually have some advice to give or some very important things to say. But being one of the younger students in class, and far from the wisest. I am not the best person to speak to my friends, so I just want to thank those who have influenced our lives through their dedication, care, sacrifice, and love. They are our parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, teachers, counselors, and all those who have influenced our lives in meaningful, nurturing ways. Even though I don't have a lot to say, I do know someone who has some good advice. He's a curious fellow. He's a multi-millionaire. He appears on TV regularly, and he has a friend with a yellow hat. It's Curious George. In case you haven't watched PBS Kids in a while, Curious George now has a legal disclaimer. George is a monkey, and he can do things you can't do. But today, I just want to touch on something all of us can do, and that's being curious and asking questions. Often, we take for granted our ability to question, a skill that allows us to wonder, explore, and think from multiple views, and an experience that allows us to connect, learn, and ultimately adapt to changes around us. No other species devotes as much time, energy, and effort to such thoughts that are not directly impacting their lives. And yet, we can somehow manage to ask more questions than we can answer. But it's this ability, the means to ask, that's critical to humanity and at the same time lies at the heart of human nature. Indeed, the day people stop asking is the day advancement dies in our modern world. So wherever we're headed, whether it's college, the workforce, or the armed services, which are all noble callings, George hopes we can all be like him, asking questions and being curious. And now briefly, so my grandparents can understand. Cảm ơn bố, mẹ, ông, bà, các bác, các cậu, dì, các anh, em, cô, chú đã nâng đỡ con cách này, cách khác để chúng con có ngày hôm nay. Once again, thank you, moms, dads, grandpas, grandmas, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, teachers, and all those who made this day possible.
It is now my honor to introduce our valedictorian, Philip Laporte. Philip has competed in soccer during his time at Zeeland West and was a respected teammate and friend. A 4.55 GPA and perfect 1600 SAT score have secured him a spot at Harvard University next year, where he will study mathematics. His various abilities and talents have crafted him into the outstanding person he is today. Please join me in welcoming Philip.
Thanks again, Connor. Hello, everyone. I bet you're all excited about listening to 6 speeches today. Before you inevitably tune me out, it's a privilege and a responsibility to acknowledge the many people who have made this day a reality. Our parents, as always, make more sacrifices for us than we can count. And our staff, counselors, coaches, administrators, and others work hard to provide the impressive opportunities and resources that we have. We owe a special thank you to our teachers who have personally invested their time and efforts every day in our success and who each demonstrate the care and commitment for which Zeeland Public Schools should be proud. Now it's our turn to say, keep up the good work. And now I have just a few things to say to you, the graduates. Obviously, high school has come to a close. We will look back on these last 4 years and relive the moments, but I won't take 4 more years doing it now. Our future is what really matters, and the choices we make are the only power we have over it. I feel like I'm sort of expected to offer you advice, but don't worry. I'm drawing on all my many decades of age and experience. Sometime today, ask yourself what kind of person you hope to become during the next few years. Maybe you want to be a more compassionate friend, a more dedicated worker, a more informed citizen. Maybe you want to get a little more sleep or watch a little less Netflix. Who am I kidding, right? But if you don't know what principles you want to live by, take some time to reflect. Because ultimately, it's up to us to attain the character we want to have. It's up to us to admit our weaknesses and work on them, realize our strengths, and exercise them. Our task of self-improvement does not complete itself. There's a reason character building is almost synonymous with suffering. Thoreau said, "You cannot dream yourself into a character. You must hammer and forge yourself one." And of course, we've already begun. The time is long gone when our parents and teachers could make us be hard workers or virtuous people. Our academic, athletic, and personal growth over the last 4 years is the result of serious, intentional effort. So don't think your diploma is permission to stop. As our independence increases, so does our responsibility to shape our character and develop our talents. The world needs our very best, and there are causes, great and small, that require the incredible range of personalities, ideas, and abilities I know you have. Not only am I excited to see what you will do, I'm proud of what you have accomplished already, and I'm honored to be graduating with each one of you. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Up next, we will get to hear a word from an exceptional man working in our school district. Although students would call him awesome because of the snow days he gives us, especially when we get one in April, parents and staff would most likely call him awesome because of his immense experience in education and the remarkable job he has done since entering Zeeland Public Schools. Please help me welcome our superintendent, Mr. Calvin de Kuiper.
Thank you, Marissa. You know, it's a little difficult to follow Marissa with a 4.3, and of course our valedictorian with a 4.5, and I have to follow that. Marissa, I appreciate that you are kind with immense experience instead of noting that the color of my hair. But I want you to know that you are the perfect example of what I want to talk about. They tell me you're gifted academically, but more importantly, that you live life around positive relationships, and that's kind of the key of the things that I'd like to be able to talk about when I can. Before I do that, I'd like to thank Hope College for making this happen really on just one day's notice, 2 for you, but 1 for just yesterday. And by the way, aren't you glad we're here? It's a gorgeous day outside, but this is the coolness that we needed. You might be interested just a little bit in that story, though, because Principal Knoth and Principal Eating called me just a couple of days ago on Tuesday, and they wanted to describe to me the health concerns that they had with the heat and humidity in the gymnasium yesterday over on the Chick side of the pathway, but even yours, too. The air conditioning is struggling, and it is not comfortable in there. So I went over to visit. I agreed. They were right. I said, you know, you're right. We need to try to find out some other things that we can do, and this is one of those things, especially because we believe in equity across the pathway with our brothers and sisters and family members that are on the other side of our pathway. But as I got through, Principal Eating said, we need to try to get over here. But you need to know that one person said, no, we need to stay. Mr. Town said, we need to stay in our own gymnasium. And he was concerned. He thought that was part of your life and your training to deal with adversity and the things that might come up with us. And he thought it might be interesting for you to be able to say in history that you survived the heat wave of 2018 and had graduation in your gymnasium. Well, I was a little bit stuck with that decision then. I had one advisor on one side and one advisor on the other, so we handled that the way that I usually do. We had Mr. Eating arm wrestle Mr. Town. And aren't we glad that your principal won? Well, you are an amazing class and one that I have watched mature over these past 5 years. And thank you for the effort and the entertainment on the courts, in the pool, Bob 85, in the theater, and all the things that you do. You are the pride of Zeeland, and I just want to say thank you. Well, are you ready for life after high school? And you kind of have to think about that a little bit. Yes and no. Maybe a more entertaining question, and I appreciated the introduction. Are you ready for the rest of your life without snow days? No. The rest of us, we don't really get that anymore. You are the class with the latest snow day on record. Hard to believe it was only about 7.5 weeks ago. But more importantly for tonight, are you ready for the finish line? And the finish line is right here. And we want you to know that you have earned it, you will cross it, and the only reason the rest of us are here is to celebrate with you. And if you are a parent, we want you to know that in a little while we know that the photo that you want is this photo. And the reason that they parade it around the outside is that you could have that photo on the entrance, and we want you to get this one. So we will back the podium out of the way, and I'll just give you a little heads up that the diplomas will be passed out right there so that you can be prepared. Thank you to the Board of Education that are behind me, and I'm used to seeing you in sunglasses outside as you struggle into it, but I'm glad to see that we're here. I want you to know that every single board member would agree and tell me that the reason they do this is tonight. It's the honor of handing you your diploma at the top of this ramp. And one more note, I want you to know that every board member hand-signed all 211 diplomas. So Board of Education, thank you. We appreciate your gift to this community. I will tell you that board members will be introduced a little bit later on, too. You were taught by a team of true professional teachers, and they believe in a partnership with you. And I love seeing the tunnel, and in this side it's more of a single line or a row than a tunnel, but I love that tunnel when you come in, and I love that they clap for you, and do you notice that they know you by name? We believe in those relationships and that partnership, and that's what makes this a special place, so thank you for all of that. Your teachers believe in a student-centered school district. We are not an adult-centered school district. We're here for you. However, in the end, the reason you are here is because you did the work. You did the work, you reached the finish line, and it is right here. Let's get back to that finish line for just a moment, and my advice to you is this. It took you 13 years to have the right and privilege to walk these 20 steps across this line, across this stage. Take your time. Enjoy the moment. Listen to the applause. Remember the moment you put your hands on your diploma, what that feels like, and the pride that you have. And in West Michigan, we kind of believe in humility, and we kind of shy away from pride sometimes. But I want you to know that we are proud of you, and tonight we want you to be proud of yourself. Tonight, remember to thank those special people who have helped you along the way. And it doesn't take a gift, it doesn't take a card, and I recommend that you don't even use an email or a text or a Snapgram or an InstaChat, one of those. Twitter might work. But I recommend a good old-fashioned handshake, a smile, a hug. Give that thank you in person. And likewise, parents and family members, sometimes in West Michigan we shy away, and what's in our mind, what we mean to say, we don't take that moment and say to our graduates, I'm really proud of you. I love you. We like what you do. We are so happy for your future. Take that moment and don't miss that opportunity when they come up like this. As graduates of Zeeland Public Schools, you are academically prepared. You are college and career ready. And I want you to know that the administrators for Zeeland Schools regularly meet with local employers to explore and we gauge career opportunities and find out what this local economy needs. And they tell us over and over that you are academically gifted. They tell us it's the soft skills, it's the personal attributes, that's what separates the great from the good. Life and employment is about positive relationships. It's about strong character. It's about integrity. It's about being dependable. It's about being loyal to your job and to your family and for giving back to your community. If you only remember one thing tonight, please remember this. Life is about face-to-face, or at least voice, conversations. Celebrations are wonderful on social media, but they're even better when they're face-to-face. And problems are best, if not only, solved when the suggestions are heard face-to-face and we truly listen to the other person before we speak. We listen, we understand, and then we respond and speak back. The motto of Zeeland Public Schools is learning for life. You are ready for lifelong learning. I look forward to shaking your hand on this side of the finish line. Class of 2018, thanks for listening.
At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing Zeeland Public Schools as President of the Board of Education. This is Mr. Dernberger's first year as the board president, but he was first elected to be a member of the board for ZPS in 2007. He has served on both the curriculum and the finance committees. Mr. Dernberger attended and graduated from Hope College, where he met his wife, Rebecca. Together they have 4 daughters, 2 sons-in-laws, and 1 grandson. 3 of their daughters graduated from Zeeland Public Schools, and 1 is finishing 8th grade at Cityside this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our school board president, Mr. Rick Dernberger.
Thank you, Lydia. I don't know where you got all that information. I was quite impressed. On behalf of the entire Zeeland Board of Education, we would like to congratulate all of you on a job well done. Tonight is, as Mr. DeKuyper said, one of the greatest nights for us as board members. Much of what we do at the board level is behind the scenes. We work on contracts, we make district-wide policies, we approve budgets, but not tonight. Tonight is visceral and real. It is about you, young women and men, and we get to witness it literally sitting on center stage. Thank you for letting us be a part of it. So like all the other old people up here, I too am going to give you advice. That's the bad news. The good news is I've timed it. I've got less than 2 minutes left of my speech, so you can hang in there for that long. So I have a 2-year-old grandson, and this past Christmas, I had the opportunity to give him some written advice for when he graduates from high school. Yes, it's 16 years away, but you know, I might be dead by then, so they just wanted to have it ready for him. So allow me to share with you what I shared with my grandson in writing to see in 16 years. 4 pieces of advice stated in what I think is reverse order of importance. Number 4, it is possible to be assertive and kind at the same time. Being kind does not mean you are a doormat, and being assertive does not have to be done with aggression. Number 3, become a great listener to others. It is not about how well you tell stories. It is about how well you get others to tell you their story. Number 2, learn how to be fully present in the moment. This moment. Work hard not to dwell on the past or to fret about the future, but to instead be right here, right now. And finally, number 1, live your life as an authentic and genuine person. That one can be scary. It involves repeatedly making yourself vulnerable to others, but the relationships that are fostered from authenticity are profoundly meaningful. That's it. Congratulations, graduates. Enjoy this evening. It is about you. Thank you.
Class of 2018, it is my pleasure to announce Mr. Kevin Town as our class's chosen speaker. Mr. Town graduated from Zeeland High in 2000, then went on to serve our country for 6 years in the Marine Corps Infantry, earning the rank of a sergeant. After the Marines, he graduated from Grand Valley State University with a bachelor's degree in social studies and a master's degree in educational leadership. He has been married to his wife Katie for 15 years, and together they have 4 kids, Avery and Owen, who are 8, Ellis, who is 4, and Easton, who is 2. Mr. Town has been a teacher at Zeeland West for 8 years. While teaching at Zeeland West, he has taught civics, economics, U.S. history, and AP World History. He has also coached both freshman and varsity boys basketball, as well as girls JV tennis. What the students appreciate most about Mr. Town is his ability to form meaningful relationships with each of his students and his passion for what he teaches. His constant support has made our high school career an extremely positive experience. It is now my honor to welcome to the stage Mr. Kevin Town.
All right, thank you for the introduction. Graduates, would you please take a look underneath your seats? A moment, just go ahead. I'm just kidding, just stop. There's actually nothing there. That's what I call a little bit of an icebreaker, something I learned in teacher college. You see, I'm used to addressing 30 students at a time, not over 200. And their families, family, and our school board and administration and our faculty. So with that being said, I really appreciate everyone taking time out of their busy schedule just to come hear me speak tonight. Your support will not go unnoticed. Before I would begin, I would be remiss not to mention the fact that when I was hired in by former principal Colleen Johnson, she told me that we have the greatest staff around, and if I needed anything, they'd be there to help in any capacity. She couldn't have been more right. Thanks to the staff for being so supportive and hardworking, even you, Crinion, wherever you are. All right, class of 2018. Wow. 18 years ago, I sat in your position with much more hair and 4 less kids and thought to myself, when will this guest speaker stop talking? I have no recollection of who spoke at my graduation ceremony, and I'm sure whoever did a great job and people clapped at its conclusion. I encourage everyone to do the same tonight. Nice. Sitting in your position years ago, I would have never thought I'd be addressing a senior class with some sort of words of wisdom and motivation. Sure, I was probably towards the top of my class academically, somewhere in the top 200. And even considering, Philip, I thought about studying pure math at the next level, but never really pegged myself as the graduation speaker type. I have had the honor to teach the majority of your class through civics, economics, U.S. history, and or AP World. Some of you I've taught for 3 years, and to you I apologize. You have probably heard the same stories over and over again throughout your high school career. And no doubt we'll hear more of the same tonight. For those students, smile, laugh, and be nice. Tonight I have 3 stories that focus on the importance of life experiences, leadership, and love. Each of these 3 stories will be titled with phrases I commonly use in the classroom. Now, to help me with this process, I have brought with me a document that was created by 3 students during their freshman year some 4 years ago. Their names were Maddie Sleva, Marissa Sturkin, and Olivia Creevy. They took note of my sayings in the classroom and were kind enough to compose a lengthy list entitled Things K-Town Says. Ladies, I knew your list of 41 sayings would eventually pay off, as I have narrowed it down to 3 tonight. Story number 1. History is the story of people, and if you don't like people, you're weird. I grew up in Kentwood, where there were stores, restaurants, street lights, and civilization. At age 11, we moved to Borculo, where there were dandelions, dirt roads, a barber shop, and no gas station. The move was tough at first, but proved even tougher the next year. When I was 12, my dad passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack. He was 39 years old. This was one of those life experiences that rocked our family to the core. In the aftermath of this event, many of my friends and family shared with me the wisdom that time will heal all pain. But as time progressed, I figured out that insight wasn't entirely true. Time doesn't necessarily heal, it's what you do with your time. My attitude on my dad's death was a turning point for me. I figured out that I had 2 choices in life, one of optimism or one of pessimism. I ultimately chose to take a path, basically take a negative situation, turning it into a positive one. Former slave Frederick Douglass once said, "Without struggle, there can be no progress." Sometimes we are afraid to struggle because we want things in life to be easy. Life isn't always easy. It is filled with many ups and downs, and many of us have faced a wide variety of life experiences thus far and will continue to do so after graduation. Although not all of them will be life-changing as my example, they will test your patience and progress. For example, you just spent the entire night playing Fortnite, Connor Burrows, I'm looking at you, and your alarm goes off for that 8 a.m. college elective course entitled Wasting Time on the Internet. How do you react to life's challenges? Do you rise and grind, or do you hit the snooze and sleep in? Sometimes it's the smallest challenges in life that make the biggest difference. Life can be a process, but your attitude and the choices you make will impact your journey. Story number 2. When I was overseas, ... Let's see. I was a high school junior lying on the floor coloring a map of Africa for my world history class. As I made my way down to the Horn of Africa, I colored in the country Djibouti. Haha, Djibouti, I said. That's a funny name for a country. My 1998 self never envisioned that I'd be a Marine searching for IEDs in the country that I just colored. It was on my deployment for Operation Enduring Freedom where I learned a lot of valuable leadership characteristics. Number 1, patience, which I am still working on today, and I'm sure if my wife, she's here somewhere, she's nodding her head, was developed due to the fact that we had 6 computers for the entire base of 1,500 troops, which made communication a difficult and slow process. We are an impatient society, so try to slow things down and just enjoy life. Number 2, dependability, which was fostered through working day in and day out with my fellow Marines, never missing a shift because we relied on each other to accomplish the mission. Be someone others can rely on. Dependability will be needed not only for your professors or employers, but also in the relationships you build. Number 3, tough-mindedness was acquired by working consistently in 125-degree heat, 7,000 miles away from home in a combat zone. Choose to adapt and overcome rather than giving in and giving up. Number 4, taking responsibility for my own actions. There were several times where I had to be decisive, and sometimes those decisions didn't go as planned. It would have been easy for me to blame the weather, the terrain, or Marines under my command, or those in higher authority, but instead I needed to look from within. Maybe I should have used a different patrol route, or maybe I should have paid more attention during intelligence briefings. Taking responsibilities for my own actions allowed for humility and ultimately promoted success. Stop blaming others for your shortcomings. And when you succeed, be humble. Remember what philosopher and rap artist Drake once said: never let success get to your head, and never let failure get to your heart. All these traits were important, but the most important traits I obtained overseas was a sense of openness and empathy. These traits took some time to develop due to building of relationships. On the outside, Djibouti was extremely impoverished, lacked necessary infrastructure, and their population was predominantly Islamic. All of these characteristics were opposite of my West Michigan upbringing. Through security patrols and working the front gate, I was able to communicate with the locals and get a glimpse into their lives. For example, our trash service employees consisted of 6 Djiboutian locals who worked 84 hours a week and received about $100 a month in compensation. Renardi tells me that's about 27 cents an hour, and he's a math guy, so I trust him. Day after day, they came through our gates with a positive attitude. Their lives were absent of running water, sewer systems, internet, and public education, but they enthusiastically enjoyed their lives through working, family togetherness, and religious worship. Having the time to actually get to know these men through interactions helped me to be more empathetic and understanding from where they came from. After today, you will experience life through work, college, or the military. Develop a sense of empathy towards others. You may find out that only being judgmental and closed-minded prevents prosperity. Story number 3, last one. If you're not listening right now, you're wrong. Years ago, Ross Vredevoog and I were changing in the locker room. I promise it won't get any weirder than it already is. At the time, I was going to school at Grand Valley, and we joined some Zeeland teachers for early morning basketball. Well, at least most of us played basketball. Vredevoog's game resembled some sort of cross between tackle football and mixed martial arts. One morning, he did give me some good advice, though. I knew I wanted to go into education, but I didn't know what subject matter to major in. My heart was saying social studies, but the job market was telling me science or math. Vredevoog told me to teach what I'm passionate about because chances are you'll be doing it for the next 30 years. I am so glad I pursued a career in education teaching social studies. There has not been one day in the 8 years of teaching that I've come into school with an attitude of regret. I absolutely love my job. I love teaching and building relationships with students. But I'm not saying every day is perfect. As teachers, we love asking these questions to students. Your dog ate your internet? Why are you repeatedly flipping a bottle of water on your desk? What is this thing you call a fidget spinner? Did you just take a picture of your shoes on Snapchat to ensure a continued streak? In all seriousness, you are all the reason why we have joined the profession. It is your willingness to succeed and learn that feeds our desire and gives us hope for the future. Choose a career you truly feel passionate about. If you can, you will find that going to work each day doesn't really feel like going to work. In conclusion, you all have an opportunity to make history. And history, just like yourself, can be interpreted differently by people. How will those around you interpret your life? Make sound decisions with optimism, whether big or small. Continually develop your leadership skills, especially a sense of empathy. And finally, follow your passion, not a paycheck. Class of 2018, I will not say good luck because I think luck has less to do with it, but rather try your hardest in becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Rodriguez, and I have the privilege of introducing our school board members tonight. If each school board member could stand when they are called and stay standing until all board members are named, that would be great. Trustee April DeWeerd has been serving since 2017. Trustee Ron Scott has been serving since 2005. Trustee Todd Brennan has been serving since 2013. Secretary Linda Bush has been serving since 2008. Treasurer Mark Snyder has been serving since 2012. And President Rick Dernberger has been serving since 2007. Vice President Tom Denherter has been serving since 2002. Please give a round of applause to all of our great school board members. Our board members will be taking turns handing out diplomas to our graduates tonight. Thank you, and let's continue with our ceremony.
As we read the names of graduates, we ask that you please save your applause for the end of each row. Row 1, please come forward. My name is Rachel Opperly, and I am an English teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Secretary Linda Bush. Philip Laporte. Leah Renardi. Andrew Wynn. Eldert Zwart. Olivia Creevy. Jacob Poole. Shaylin Estevez. Eric De La Cruz. Brady Bush. Caleb Kender. Connor Burrows. Chloe Clampt. Marissa Sturkin. Jaden Ellenbass. Lydia Pruce. Nicole Sherman. Vanessa Rodriguez. Betsy Racco. Susanna Yick. Margaret Sims. Vivian Levensey. Logan Cook. Connor Heckle. Paige Heckle. Kayla Kohler. Oriel Lara Arkai. Brady Gulker. Taylor Hoovey. Row 1, please stand to be recognized. Row 1, you may be seated.
Row 2, please come forward. My name is Jeff Carlson, and I am a social studies teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board President Rick Dernberger. Madison Coleman. Brendan Vriesma. Natalie Smyers. Tyler Englert. Aubrey Morey. Bryce Grassmid. Nathaniel Akama. Ashlyn Kohler. Alyssa Ortiz. Abigail Buatong. Madeline Breaway. Megan West. Olivia Turner. Madison Spurtell. Mariah Escobar. Marissa Dengate. Maddie Busker. Alyssa Smith. Riley Farrell. Nathan Kroll. Madison Sleva. Morgan Veldhoff. Pamela Suvankam. Michaela Smith. Kylie Skolton. Nicole Kromendijk. Megan Cook. Colin Merriman. Row 2, please stand to be recognized. Row 2, you may be seated.
Row 3, please come forward. My name is Kelsey Curley, and I am an English teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Vice President Thomas Denherter. Tucker Martinez. Clayton Boerichter. Riley Toth. Kevin Mills. Carly Vriesma. Ethan Dryden. Ethan Walters. Emily Wilson. Jacob DeWeerd. Shanna Hahn. Katie Bursma. Chloe Kimber. Josie Boss. Maxwell Hecht. Stefan Vriesma. Clayton Kuipers. Brianna Rue. Josiah Peterson. Trisha Spoolman. Kendra Chanvong. Nathan Kuman. Philip Wiegand. Jay Lynch. Brett Jarsma. Kenneth Brown. Krista Matthews. Carson Weaver. Kendra Osborne. Row 3, please stand to be recognized. Row 3, you may be seated.
Row 4, please come forward. My name is Amy Edwards, and I'm a math teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Treasurer Mark Snyder. Tyler Matthey. Luke Overway. Kiara Blattner. Dean O'Brien. Hannah Lewis. Brinley Shank. Skeeter Hookwater. Kinsey Ward. Cameron Potter. Anthony Hayes. Alyssa Sayavong. Abriana Vanderwerf Lara. Jared Druke. Cassandra Hassevort. Olivia Weenum. Emma Rotman. Sierra Raby. Keisha Kroll. Zachary LeFaber. Brittany Zeidema. Sophie Zelenak. Kennedy Smedley. Tanner Kitchen. Gage Luan. Nolan Bates. Andres Bocanegra. Caitlin Vandervest. Emily DeGlopper. Row 4, please stand to be recognized. Row 4, you may be seated.
Row 5, please come forward. My name is Lori Yonkman, and I'm a physical education teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Trustee April DeWeerd. Rachel Marsh. Julia Babinek. Bailey Seitzma. Hunter Anderson. Jacqueline Lopez Orozco. Alan Kinkenveld. Trenton Nemec. Nathan Visser. Nathaniel Kuiper. Philip DeYoung. Olivia Kraft. Lily DeMann. Annabelle Karsten. Aaron Sleeman. Wyatt Bootsma. Daniel Beekus. Solomon Boyd. Jaden Kingsma. Chelsea Barnes. Hannah Woodwike. River Foco. Jared Hart. Daniel Quintanilla. Dimitri Malley. Jaytun Dar. Koi Tran. Viviana Juarez. And Whitley Wing. Row 5, please stand to be recognized. Row 5, you may be seated.
Row 6, please come forward. My name is Corinne Milkey, and I am an English teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Trustee Todd Brennan. Joelle Scrotenbor. Hannah Argetsinger. Peter Busa. Teague Burns. Carter Radzons. Carly Radzons. Sean Michaels. Hugo Vasquez. Trenton Mewson. Justin Allen. Bryce Arredondo. Charles Borman. Ethan Briones. Chance Brown. Jonathan Bussard. Chase Carpenter. Derek Chalern. Kyle Coates. Anthony Flores. Ethan Daniels. Maddie DeBoer. Isaiah De La Cruz. Jake Desarmo. Ricky Flores. Nathan Funkus. Nathan Gutnick. Brendan Harwood. Joshua Klump Ahrens. Aubrey Knoper. Row 6, please stand to be recognized. Row 6, you may be seated.
Row 7, please come forward. My name is Nate Vandegooch, and I'm a special education teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board Trustee Ron Scott. Grace Krieger. Samnang Kai. Alyssa Lucas. Zachary Miedendorp. Brendan Lundeen. Travis Magmoon. Caitlin Martinez. Wesley Meyer. Christopher Makma. Connor Norcross. Justin Overzet. Micah Prindle. Abhishek Putsi. Jordan Reed. David Richardson. Katricia Rietveld. Jordan Russell. Selamis Sek. Joseph Short. Mason Shoup. Austin Suiters. Aaron Stern. Nathan Tobak. Travis Talsma. Row 7, please stand to be recognized. Row 7, you may be seated.
Row 8, please come forward. My name is Kathy Weerstra, and I'm a math teacher at Zeeland West. This row of graduates will be presented by Board President Rick Dernberg. Nathaniel Barnt. Omar Tovar. Christopher Washing. Jacob Warren. Carissa Wentzloff. Paige Wilmoth. Matthew Venema. Seth Vanderplug. Caitlin Vandenberg. Row 8, please stand to be recognized. Row 8, you may be seated.
At this time, our principal, Greg Eating, will speak to us. He is finishing up his 14th year in Zeeland and 24th overall in education. He's a math major out of Hope College with a master's from Western Michigan University. He also received an educational specialist degree from the University of Michigan. Go Blue! His wife is a paraprofessional working with cognitively impaired elementary students. They have 4 children, 2 of which are in college, and 2 of which attend school in Zeeland. Many of us had him as a principal in middle school, and we are excited to have him finish watching our journey through Zeeland. Mr. Eating is a very fun, relaxed, and friendly man. We have loved him as our principal. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mr. Greg Eating.
Thank you, Susie, for your kind words and introduction. First, a quick thank you. Safe, valued, and loved is our motto in Zeeland, and the people sitting right behind our graduates, our teachers and support staff, live out that motto each day. Let's give them a round of applause. One more shout out to Miss McGilly, who's sitting right back here. You are the most amazing with the logistics and the behind the scenes for everything that happened for this evening. Thank you, Miss McGilly. She needs a round of applause, too. Graduates, I have one simple message for you. Our office secretaries put together a very cool bulletin board that is just outside our office, where each staff member came up with one or more words that goes with be. For example, be nice, be good, be friendly, and so on. I went with a 2-word, which is be the good, as in be the good in our world. Today I have a new phrase that would also work for the bulletin board, be present, or be actively present. Being actively present is the act of engaging in the present world of your life. Let me give you an example. Personally, my world is a little bit busy. My wife and I have 4 busy kids. We both have busy jobs. I have been known, and my wife can tell you this is true, that I kind of carry my thoughts with me throughout my day. So we might be at one of our kids' games. I'm kind of consumed with something that happened in the day. My wife is talking to me. I'm giving her all kinds of eye contact and head nods, and I have no words at all registering in my brain. I am not being actively present. Or maybe this is you. You drive to school using the same route every day, and you get to school and you think, how did I get here? Because maybe you're consumed with that Snapchat that your friend sent before you left, right? Graduates, as babies of the 2000s, you have grown up in a very personal tech world. Most of you have a cell phone that you covet with all your heart. As in, happy face emoji, heart, heart. Your devices distract you, and it's that simple. When you sit with your friends, you pay attention to your device more than you pay attention to your friends. You do. I've done it. It keeps us from being actively present with those around us. It's a truth that you and I, both of us, need to figure out. Being actively present is paying attention during the moments of life. It's caring and showing you care. It's asking thoughtful questions. It's an understanding that others are important. Being actively present is not using your phone when you're hanging out with your friends, maybe even moving it to another location when you are with your friends or family. That would be crazy. I encourage you to work on that. When you're with others, be present. Engage in the conversation. Laugh and enjoy the moments. It will be worth it. And lastly, graduates, I'm just so proud of you. You are such an awesome group of people. And on behalf of the Zeeland High School staff, we wish you the very best. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. We're almost done, I promise. I'll keep it short. But again, what an awesome location for our graduation ceremony. Graduates, we have come a long way, haven't we? Look around at teachers, friends, parents, grandparents, and maybe even the siblings. This is a huge turning point in our lives, and we are going to some great places. Some to college, others into the workforce, a few into the military, and don't forget about the ones who are thinking, man, I need a gap year. Anywhere we go, we can proudly say that we went to Zeeland Public Schools. Zeeland is an amazing town in which to grow up. Between the iPads, the awesome superintendent who gives us Smarties, our super cool teachers, or even the covered path that works most of the time. We are lucky to have ended up at Zeeland West. I recently received a book called The Path to Serendipity by the principal of Quincy Elementary, Allison Apsey. Its main idea is that life doesn't always go our way, but it is within us all to look at challenges as happy accidents and try to learn from them. As we leave Zeeland West, things might not go as planned, and with bigger things coming our way, we might face bigger challenges. But with serendipity in mind, try to remember that no matter what, we can always keep growing and learning as we start walking paths that are a little bit larger than the one between our two schools. As for now, we can say we made it. We stuck with it, and we're done with high school. I know you're all as excited as I am to throw your cap up in the air, so at this time, I would like to pass the mic back to Mr. Eating to conclude our ceremony. Thank you.
Graduates, at this time, please rise. On behalf of Superintendent DeKuyper and the Zeeland Board of Education, I hereby certify you as graduates of Zeeland West High School. Please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side of your cap. Zeeland parents, family, and friends, I present to you the class of 2018.